I'm gonna open raise here with ace 5 on the button. We'll be raising there pretty much regardless of who is in the blinds. We just don't really care. It's such a strong hand that with our position it's going to always be profitable. You know, we rank our hands and hold them based off of 3 criteria. One's high card strength. The others are whether it can make straights and if it can make flushes. And for the suitedness aspect, either it's just suited or not. You don't have to worry about more complex scenarios. Here we're going to be raising just purely off of high card strength with Queen 9. If you're in the button against type players, often you only need one of those 3 criteria for a raise to be pretty standard. And sometimes you can get away with not having any of them if the blinds are tight enough. But I try not to advocate that too much, because you want some kind of post-flop playability to avoid putting yourself in sort of difficult situations. So here's another one. Let's see. This should be our opponent's stats. Yeah, see, our opponent's a 32-4, so he's got a really wide range. We're going to go ahead and make the raise even though we're out of position because our hand's just so strong. Okay. So he goes ahead and folds. If we look, I guess here, we can see that his limping habits is pretty crazy. Out of 56 hands, he's limped 7 times. That's between 10 and 15%, which is just huge. Okay, now here we got a obvious spot with aces to open in early position. And it's important to pay attention here because this guy just posted the big blind, not the small blind, but just the big blind, so it's his first hand at the table. And he calls, like just insta calls. Flop comes jack high, really super safe board, and against this guy we're probably looking to stack, so we're going to start getting the money in. Here, really tight guy opens early position. We obviously don't have value with a 3-bet. Okay, now here, I'm going to elect to just lead and get value out of 6s through 10s. Just in case he decides to check behind. Okay, we'll go ahead and bet here again. He's going to be more likely to call with the lower pocket pairs like 7s, 8s, because the 5 paired, it's less likely for me to have a set, if he's thinking about that. Okay, so let me fix my script here. Alright, got a limper under the gun. I'm not necessarily ahead of his range here, but my positional edge and the fact that he's like really tight is probably folding a lot of flops. We combine that with, I've got a hand with some decent playability. I can go ahead and make the raise, play the pot in position. Okay, so he sort of checks. I'm going to go ahead and make the bet. I think about 175 is going to do the same as betting like 225 or 250. If he's got a middle pair, that difference in bet size isn't really going to change whether he calls or not. But when we're making these plays pre-flop, Okay, like here, I've got high card playability. I'm against some really tight players. This is kind of borderline. If I'm suited, I'm definitely raising here. Um, if no one has 3-bet over a large sample, I'm probably raising here again. I'm just going to fold this time. It's kind of marginal. Whereas here, even though we're going to be a little further away, our playability is just so much higher. And we'll go ahead. And when we make these raises in late position, we should always be looking ahead to who 3-bets. Okay, here on the left table, I'm going to go ahead. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and make a bet. This guy's really loose, and it's going to be, it's impossible for me to check and then try to call a bet on the turn. And I could be getting, sevens to fold, or some hand that should call, like a gut shot with overpairs, or a gut shot with overcards. And then this is a pretty standard fold. Okay, here we're going to go ahead and raise from sort of early middle position with ace-jack suited. Suited broadways are some of the most playable hands because they have high card strength, suitedness, and they can always make the nuts straight. Now, I'm harping on playability quite a bit. And the reason is, in these games, you're going to be, post-flop, you're going to, in general, have one of two strategies. One is that you're going to want to be value betting the hell out of someone. Okay, now you need hands that are going to hit flops that you can value bet, or he's going to hit hands that you can value bet. And hands with higher playability are just going to hit more hands. And so that's the one thing. The other is you have sort of what we'll call it. I mean, I hesitate to use the term at 25 and L, but regulars. Then just let me sort of interrupt. This guy's 11-11 with a 14% attempt to steal over 80 hands. He's only 3-bet once. I'm just going to go ahead and fold. And then this is a pretty standard raise. But the point is, the other type we're going to see is what we'll sort of tongue-in-cheek call regulars. And we're going to want a lot of playability to hit a lot of draws so we can be aggressive. Here, this is actually kind of marginal. I'm just going to fold. Don't really like